Every year around this time, I go to visit my father out of state. Every year we discuss life, family, employment, and the future. Every year I always seem to bear bad news and worry about my ability to continue in my line of work. Every year around this time, there always seems to be something devastating happening in and around the game I love. But every year, I'm hopeful. My visits with my dad punctuate the direction of the world around me and force me to stop and listen. They act like a sort of checkpoint, allowing me to measure my progress and take a step back. Look at what Destiny, Bungie, myself, and everything has become. Normally I'm so overwhelmed with running the channel, I can't really appreciate mental silence. My mind is always abuzz with the next project or what Bungie is doing behind the scenes or the next series idea or some weapon or whatever. Every year I would tell my dad that things are bad right now, but it's okay, because Bungie has a plan. Because they have a plan, everyone married to their success has a future. But every year my annual reports get worse. Every year I think my father picked up on how my hope turned more and more into despair and more into fear. This is a video about me. This is a video about you. This is a video about Destiny. This is a video about Bungie. This is a video about hope. This is a video about fear. This is a video about the future. This is a video about the end of an era. Destiny has always lived in a cycle. It cycles from looking like it's heading towards the grave to looking like it's about to be the hero everyone wanted it to be. The cycle is exhausting. I believe everyone to have been the victim of this cycle for many years, but despite the lows, there's always the tug of war with the future of Bungie and the future of Destiny between despair and redemption. Redemption always was the favored fighter to win, but as years went by, Redemption grew older, slower, less able to roll with the punches. It had triumphs no one saw coming, but the decline in its health couldn't be ignored forever. It was sick. Its symptoms were slow, quiet, but inevitable. Its illness continued to hinder Redemption's fight against despair. Destiny, Bungie, creators, and players cheered from the sidelines, but slowly, those cheers began to fade. The fans couldn't place their finger on it, but Redemption's illness was manifesting itself more and more thoroughly. Rumors of Redemption's failure began to spread, and slowly as Redemption's illness took a greater hold, the naysayers grew louder. It wasn't until 2 days ago that we were able to see what was suffocating Destiny's redemption. Doctors' diagnostics were clear. Greed is Destiny's illness. Greed is killing Destiny. Greed is terminal. As many of you know, about 2 days ago now, Bungie laid off 17% of their workforce, and reportedly around 400 people in total from either layoffs or moves to Sony or other studios. Many of these positions being senior positions, and all of them being people who delivered the critically acclaimed Final Shape expansion. It may be tempting to presume that these layoffs came because of poor sales. While it is true the Final Shape did sell less copies than Lightfall, Destiny was still ranked as the 5th most sold game in June, reportedly beating out games like Valorant, Diablo, and GTA, and even Roblox. Surviving through all this, however, is a man by the name of Pete Parsons, Bungie CEO. Parsons is under fire by the entire internet right now, as he has allegedly bought more than $2.7 million worth of cars. Regardless of how Pete Parsons spent his wealth, it wouldn't have affected the outcome of the company, probably. But what it does indicate is where Bungie's high-level financial priorities are. Pete, despite his audacious spending habits, was not affected by the layoffs, as far as we can tell. It may be safe to conclude that if he had any weight in this decision at all, these layoffs were likely made to protect Pete. While we do not have evidence for this directly, we may insinuate based off of Pete's actions. Shortly after the layoffs were made public, of which allegedly the primary way Bungie's employees found out was through Twitter, Pete privated his Twitter account. Once he faced backlash for this, he opened them back up to public again. Perhaps this was coincidence, but regardless, Pete has not made any comments since July 31st, simply retweeting the announcement as of the time of this video. The death of Destiny 2 felt inevitable, but impossibly distant. No game can truly live forever, and even the ones that have seemingly done so are black boxes where they receive little to no updates. Because of this, players, creators, and myself all assumed that a Destiny 3 was in the works. Why wouldn't it be? It seems obvious. It seemed like a natural thing to do for the cash cow that was the Destiny IP. However, Destiny 3 was reportedly never in the works, according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. Jason also provided further insight into the shift at Bungie, stating that a good portion of these layoffs, as you can see here, were moves. News is continuing to surface, so undoubtedly we will understand the full picture as we get closer to it. But what we know about the future of the studio seems clear. Destiny 2 is officially dying. Updates, content drops are to happen less frequently, and without a Destiny 3, Bungie is likely focusing on Marathon or other such projects. While many, ourselves included, have been calling low points in Destiny 2's lifespan in the past its death, this time it's far different than the rest. We are in stage 4. Unless something massive changes, there is no revival. There is only survival. Players and even community managers still employed by Bungie are devastated and angry. Destiny's death is from the head down. Poor leadership placed Bungie in this position, with reports showing that Sony likely was also taken advantage of. All these layoffs coming despite not 2 years earlier, Bungie claiming this acquisition wouldn't result in such pain. Unfulfilled promises, under-delivery, but mostly greed, has destroyed the game I love from the studio I put my faith in. Now this is the part where I go off script. Guardians? I'm scared. I've been in this position before, so I'm more emotionally ready for this. And like I mentioned on my script, that of course Destiny wasn't going to live forever, but the hope was that it would be slow, that we would have time to prepare. But it just came like a slap to the face. As of the time of recording this, minutes ago, 2 of Bungie's biggest head hitters are also gone. I don't know what to do, and I can't even imagine the fear, the confusion, the frustration, the anger that now faces every single Destiny employee, every single Bungie employee. I spent 10 years of my life building some of the best friendships I've ever had, developing relationships with people that I didn't even think was possible, building a small business, meeting some of you, and getting to experience parts of your life, even if in small portions. Destiny kind of meant something. And it feels like we were being told all but directly that it's over. And not because it was natural, not because this is just simply how times happen, they just move on, but because of, at best, mismanagement, and perhaps more truthfully, greed. I don't know how to handle it. I don't. With information like this, and hopefully we get some story that makes all of this emotional downtrod be slightly less relevant when this video actually publishes. I just don't know what to feel. I don't know what to do. I'm just kind of scared. And whereas in the past we knew we had time, I don't know if that's the case. Because it feels like no matter what, greed will win. I wish I had more to say. I wish I had some kind of silver lining or insight to provide you all, to send you off in a hopeful way. The only thing I can say is, there's a plan in everything. Nothing is done on accident. Even if it's done by evil. Even if it's done by greed. So, I do think it's over. I will try to be around as much as I can. I'm sure everyone will be too. But, man, what are you all feeling? Would you stick around with Destiny? Are you planning on sticking around with Destiny? I would like to. This game means too much to me to just simply set aside. It feels unfair. Feels like we were used and then cast aside. Same goes for those developers, I'm positive. To make something so critically acclaimed just to simply have it told to you that it didn't matter. It didn't matter how good it was, how much it sold, that it was going to happen anyway. Can't even imagine. So, wherever you are, whatever's going on with you, whatever your relationship to this game was, whether it's developer, player, first-timer, veteran, thanks. This isn't goodbye, obviously, but this is the start of something different. You all have you've been able to provide me something I always dreamed of. Something I always thought would be impossible. Something that many made fun of me for. Never fit in. And for the first time, doing this, establishing myself with this community, felt like I fit in a little bit. Sorry, I'm not good without a script. But here we are. The only way is forward. You'll still be there?